All right, welcome back to LearnWire. We're going to be looking at VidExploAI. So this is an AI-powered app, and it'll help you to create world-class engaging animated explainer videos in less than 60 seconds. Now, obviously this is going to be hypey, but the 60 seconds, if you're using one of their templates, their built-in templates, and I've already taken it for a test drive, it's pretty impressive actually. But if you use one of their templates, then yeah, you could get something out pretty quickly. We're going to be taking a look mostly at creating videos from scratch and so forth. So this is an explainer video. I believe this is for $27 at the time of recording this. This just launched today on May 3rd. It is on JVZoo, but it did look like a big launch and a software worth taking a look at. So you're at $27. There'll be a coupon below you can get for $5 off. So I'll make sure to put that in there, put that $5 in. You can get this for $22 for the front end. I will say that I'm going to go ahead and go over the one-time offers. So there's 6 one-time offers. You guys know how the drill is on these ones. I'm not going to spend time with these, but you're probably going to want to pick up VidExploAI Pro right here because it's going to give you a ton more pro templates. And then the done for you pack right over here would probably be another one that I would pick up. So just after messing around with it for a while, there's an agency version. You can sell this yourself as if it's your own software. I believe that's what that is. Or the agency one might just unlock. Actually, I don't really know what that one is. But we have all these different things that you can get, a marketing hub package and so forth. But really, out of all these, the ones that I would, if I was getting serious about making video creation, and I think that this tool would be good for people that want to create these videos for businesses, for local businesses. They are saying it right up here, generate and profit. You can use this to create videos and sell them on Fiverr, Upwork, or build your own website and go after clients. You can do cold email and so forth. You could create videos and sales videos and so forth using this tool, and then going out and selling it to small businesses that have no idea how to put their business online. And like I said, the ones that I would go for is OTO 1, the pro version, $37, and then the OTO 3 is the done for you, $37. And it just basically, from my understanding, is it just gives you more packages. Now I have access to all of this, so I can actually show you what it all looks like, but then keep in mind that a lot of the features that I have in my review copy, I have access to everything, okay? Let's go and jump in right away to the software. And so this is what it looks like in here. You can go into the training, and I did watch these videos right over here. I will say it was super annoying, but whoever recorded the videos, the volume is extremely low. So you're going to have to put the volume all the way up and then probably turn up all your computer volume up, and then also your manual audio on your speakers, turn that up as well. And then you'll be able to watch these. They're informative. We'll show you how to navigate through the accounts, how to use the software, and how to use templates and so forth. At least they came with some training videos. I don't really think there's much more that they need to do with the training right over there. And so then you come over here and you have templates right over here. It's super cool. We can preview these templates right over here. And then they have some that are like for like social media size right here. We can look at this one real quick. So not bad. These templates come with how many seconds they have and so forth. So you have some different templates over here. And then starting from down here, I think you get access to all these templates right here in the front end offer. But then once you get over here to agency manager right over here, I believe, let's see if that agency manager is that part of done for you. Agency manager is this one right over here. So this is going to allow you to add a new member, and you can actually give them access, I believe, access level front end pro, and you're going to be able to give them access. Okay, yeah, so that's what this is. Agency manager means you can add people to your team. So if you get the agency package right over here, then that's going to be $97, but then you're going to be able to go and get your VAs on this and give them access right here, get their email, their name, boom, and tell them whatever level you have. Obviously, if you have pro, then you want to give them pro level because you want them to make the best videos they can. So this is where you can manage teams. I like that ability as well. Like the marketing hub is going to be this marketing kit right over here. That's going to be this one. So these over here coincide with what you're going to get over here. The done for you templates is right over here. Done for you. I can show you what that looks like over here. You're going to get a bunch more templates inside of here as well. And then the reseller, I'm not really sure what this is, but I do have the access to be able to resell this, I believe. And that might be unlimited. I'm not really sure which one that one coincides with, but the marketing kit, just to show you, it'll unlock all these different things. Done for you mobile agency website. You'll be able to look at the done for you sales proposals. So I'm not sure what you guys would be the most interested in. Here's niche websites right over here, 50 different niche websites, specific websites for you, graphics. You're going to be able to download this asset, and then it's going to have a bunch of stuff in that. And so that's going to be the marketing kit upgrade right there for $77. Okay. So in a sense, you have to look at this as well. Even AppSumo deals, you don't ever get team collaboration access on the front of the tier 1 offers that are like $39, $49, $59. You don't usually get team access. So you have to buy the tier 2 or tier 1, right? And then you wouldn't be able to add people, right? So then on AppSumo deals, you go to tier 2, tier 3 to be able to add people, and it coincides a little bit with the way that AppSumo deals are put together as well. So if that kind of helps you along the way with why you would need to pick some of these one-time offers up. I'm not sure what the all-in is on this. About $300 would be the all-in, and that's about fair to say that most AppSumo deals are around $300 all-in as well. I never really looked at it like that, but this isn't any more expensive than some of the offerings that we see on AppSumo and so forth. So let's go jump in real quick. So you'll go to the dashboard. You'll see how many projects, rendered videos, how much storage you've used. You get 6 gigs right there. And then you can also hook this up to Amazon. So you can go to API settings and you can actually hook this up to your Amazon S3 account. And so that would allow you to have as much buckets. You could put all your assets in there and have a bucket managed right there as well once you run out of storage space. But 6 gigs is pretty darn good to get started. So you can start a video right here. You can go to projects and see your projects right over here as well. And then you can also go to create project from there. Remember, if you go into templates over here, you can actually hover over and say use template. So let's just go and use a template. This purple one looks pretty cool. So let's say we use template, and then we can title our video right over here. I'm going to be sticking with a, let's just say why I like lions. Let's just do that for now for fun, because I've got another one that's more specific to services in a minute that we're going to be creating one from scratch. So you want to definitely stick around because we're going to be building one from scratch as well. Now, one thing, you can't really see the canvas that I would recommend them on the UI that this area around the canvas needs to be a darker color. That way we can really see what's on the canvas, but they do allow you to hit this button right over here, outer view, and then it will give you that border right there. You can drag and drop these right here on the layers area. And then you can also click that button up there and it will show you the timeline right over here. So it starts to look like some of these explainer video things that they're very expensive softwares. Actually, they cost like $500 a year, $50 to $100 a month to create these style of videos. And I do though, from a pricing standpoint, and this is a one-time offer, the tool is pretty good. It will take a little bit of a learning curve. I'm going to go over some of the features. So you can go over and you have images. You can select your images. You can upload up to 10 megabytes right there. You can go library and you can start looking for images, right? So I would go over here. I would go lion, and it's going to be using Pixabay. So we have all these images that we can go with right now. So I'm going to go ahead and push the plus button right here. It's going to go to our timeline, and then we can go and do what we want right over here. And I'm going to go like that and just put the lion on the page. And maybe we want to move the text down like that. And then maybe we want to center this and bring this down and just put the lion on right there. And then we'd hover over the text right over here. And you actually do get a lot of text options. We got all kinds of different fonts we can go with. We've got our font size right over here. We have our text. We could change the text to another color. We can go with black if we want. I'm going to stick with let's go with a yellow color right there. Looks good. And then you've got your text on the screen over here, but you can also come over here and you can center it like that, and you can center it like that. So it's centered. And then now all you have to do is just bring it back over here and push that center button right there. So I like that. You have obviously your alignment and so forth. You can control the text right over here and put what you want. Why I like lions so much. Something like that. So then I would go and just hover over that and then recenter it. You can obviously make the text. You can drag and drop the text to make it bigger, or you can use the font size over there as well. So we'll leave that one right there. So that's like our first slide, right? You can go down to the timeline over here, and let's say we push play and just to see what we've got so far. So let's say you want that lion image. We'd click on this and you would just drag that over to here so that you now have that lion image. Nice, right? Oops, I need to push pause. Okay, so then you can come over here, and this right here, you can see it's the audio file. We can come up here, we can change the volume on this and make it loud or soft. We can also go over here and we can push record, and then you would push record right here, and I'll just show you. It just basically records. It says it's recording right here. And then when I push stop, you can go, and I'll just show you. It just basically records. It says it's recording right here. And then when I So what I will say about this, because I am developing software right now as we speak, and audio is a big thing with the software, and my developer is having a really tough time with the recording function. But I will tell you that this one right here is a very solid recorder. So it does record very nicely. So I like the audio output. It's a very strong. A lot of times with these audio recorders that are built into these tools, they're very soft and you can't hear them, so that you just never use them. I think that this is usable. You could just record, boom, and then you drag your audio file in here, and you're going to have to do some matching and so forth. But I probably would, if I was going to use my own script, and we're going to be doing that in just a second, I would use my own. I would record it in Descript or something like that, get a nice quality one take audio file, and then drag that in. Okay. But then you can also come over here and you can also upload. So this is where we'll be uploading our file here in a minute. And then text to speech, you can actually come in here and you can get text to speech. They only have a couple. And then one thing about the languages, you choose languages all along the way, and they don't have English at the top. And then there's no way up here to select the E. So right now I'm trying to push E for English and it doesn't work. So you have to scroll all the way down and you have to find English. And let's see, they have English, trying to see where English United States is right there. And then you'd go in here and you would see all these different ones right over here. But I don't like how we have to go and find this and scroll down using our mouse wheel and everything. It's a little tedious to do it that way. So I think that they should maybe improve that a little bit, allow us to maybe set a language right there and so forth. So this is where that audio file that we just recorded is. So then you would just add this to the timeline and it would just go straight to the timeline. Okay. So I like that you have the ability to open and close the timeline right here, and every element just adds a new layer right over here. You can also add layers right over here, and you can change the layers over here for a quick reference, but then you can also come to the timeline and move things around right there as well. So obviously this is a template that we went with, right? So we would come in and we would maybe click on this. You could change out all the elements. This would work well, because the way that I would use templates mostly would be, I would come in and basically when we come back to the beginning, we would just change out the and these would mostly be videos that I would use. I would just use the template for what it is. And so when it came to this scene right here, I would just grab this right here. And what we would do is I would just remove that, right? And then we would go in and we would just go back up to images or video. We go to footage, and then we would say lion right here. And they also have Pixabay. So we'd have lions. So we would just push plus, and then we would have that added. So then we just push the plus button right there. It just added it to our timeline right here, but we know that this lion right here, we don't want it in scene 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the timeline right there and move it to where I wanted it right here to the next scene. And so then what we're going to do is I'm going to just go over here, and actually we want it to go about right over here. And then we want to move this over to that last scene right there. Okay. So then now we have that. I'm going to move this up and make it bigger. So now we have a lion right there. Another thing that I think that they need to add is the ability to, when I move this, kind of like Canva, where it'll tell us where we're centered, that would be really nice to actually have that. But for now, we can use the alignment feature. So if I actually move it over here, should be able to use the alignment. That does not seem like it's working. So that would be nice to be able to do that. So then we would go like that, and maybe we would come over here and we would put an interesting something like that. Just put an interesting fact, something right there. You can also change the background and do all kinds of different stuff with the text and so forth. So you can just see there's a plethora of options here. There's like a ton of options. I can't go over all of them on this training or on this review. But then now we would be able to come back and we'd be able to see that we'll push stop. We'll come in here. Look at it. Why am I buying so much? And the lines are large. Cats. Got footage going on right there. And then it moves into the next scene. So then you would work on the next scene, right? We would come in here. We would change the text out right here. We'd come in here and you'd either leave the marketing if you like it. If you're just doing it for a marketing agency, then you'd probably leave this. In this case, you would grab this and you would replace this. And this is actually an entire image that was probably created in Canva or something like that. So you'd actually remove that and then you would just be along your way. There's a lot of things we can do. Right over here, we have graphics that we can add in here. You've got like this YouTube thing right here. can add that in, put that in right there. You can make it big as you want. You can change the color on this right here. Click that. I can change the color. They do need to, sometimes you can't scroll down right here. And so you have to get the timeline like that and then select a different color for that. And then right here, update SVG. So apparently it is an SVG. I did change that, and now we're seeing something weird going on right there. So there is a bug right there in the software. That should not be like that. That should be fixed. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that, and we'll just add that right there. So the changing of the color, we are going to test that out one more time, guys. And that might be something that they need to work on or fix. Because we got that, we should update that. And then, yeah, so that's definitely something that they need to know. I'm going to actually go, and this is Brett. Brett is the owner or creator of the software. I'm going to go ahead and actually let him know, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I actually messaged him on Skype. I'm sure they will get that fixed. So you can add, they have a big library of these different items that you can put in here. You can also search up here, pretty nice. Canva-like, right? Maybe at the end, if you have a phone number, you can go over here, maybe go to social media, just different things. You have different backgrounds right here. And then you can also, if you want to set the whole background like a video and then just put text over it and make it very quick, then you can just set one of these as the background as well. So a lot of different options. You've got images right over here and different solid colors that we can go with as well. So what I wanted to do now is go over here and just go create new. And I want to go plumbing in Denver, and I'm going to say new from scratch. And then you can select, we have 720, it should be 720p. They need to fix that right there as well. And then the 1080p right there. But we'll go with 1080p. And we can go with from scratch. And I do that they have square, so that would work for Instagram and so forth. They have landscape for YouTube, and then they have portrait mode right here as well. I'm just going to go with landscape on this one and say continue. So we're opening up a brand new from scratch. And what I want to do in this one is I want to go right over here. I already pre-recorded, so I'll show you. Like I already have the script recorded, or I've already done. Yeah, I've already done the audio recording of it. And so I'm going to go ahead and go to audio, and then we're going to go and use this upload audio. And this is how I would use the software. I'm going to go and find this real quick. You can see we have this audio right here. I'm going to open that up. And then audio uploaded successful right over here. We have our audio right here. So I'm going to go ahead and push the plus button. And that is, it says, please increase our project duration. Okay, so let me go and do that real quick. All right, so I open it up in Descript. You can see here's my script. I already recorded the audio. And this is how I would use this, guys, if I was going to use this software for my business or to make videos for other people. So we need 39 seconds. So I'm going to go back over here. And how do we change this right over here? I'm going to say 39. No. All right. So you push the edit button, and then right here you can go and you have these little arrows, or you can type it in. I'm going to say 39 seconds and save. So that's how we change that. You just push the edit button, and then you can go up here and change that and push save. Okay. So now we have 39 seconds. We should be able to add this audio to our timeline in project updated successfully. All right. So now we can go and look at the timeline, and you can see that we have our audio, and we can push play real quick. Are you tired of dealing with plumbing issues in Denver, Colorado? Look no further. Cool. So we've got our audio right there, right? So now we need to go and get some footage for this, right? Obviously, we can go and we can say text, and we can go add a heading, and we can go back into our Descript right over here, and we can just say, hey, are you tired right here? So I'm going to grab this first part right here, go back into the software, and we'll paste that in right there. And then maybe I want to go plumbing issues, and maybe right here I want to separate that part right there. And then I want to go and just align this in the center. And then maybe we want to go to the video section, and we want to add this video right here. And I'm going to go drag that right over there. And you can see our layers right over here. What I want to do is put the text on top like that. And then what I want to do is I'm just going to go and move that like that. And I'm not seeing a button where we can actually, like right click or move that to the background. That might be the background setting over here, but I'm just going to roll with it for now. And so we have the text right over here. It's on black. So we definitely need to change this to a white, maybe a white. That looks pretty good. And maybe we move this up to the top like that. So then now you can see what this will look like. We'll go back, we'll push stop. Are you tired of dealing with plumbing issues in Denver, Colorado? All right, so we need to fix that because we have our text right over here. But now I'm just going to drag this text right over here, and I'm going to move it all the way to line. And that's nice. They have the secure line right there when you've matched it. And now we can go look at it one more time. Are you tired of dealing with plumbing issues in Denver, Colorado? Look no further. Our expert plumbing service is here to save the day. Say goodbye to leaky. Okay, so obviously we would want to be more engaging. So we would just move over here, go further. So right here, we would move this text and we would match that text right here. I'm showing you how you would use this in real time. And then right over here, what we would want to do is add a new scene. So we would say, we would either put it over here and we would just maybe say something like, we are a team of plumbing experts and would love to help you with your plumbing needs. And then what I found is that you have to split this. So after and would be a great spot. And then I would go and just click these align buttons, put that in the center. And then I would just take the size down just a little bit. And then I would hit these one more time. That's how I've found works good with the software. When I click this outer view, so you can see how there's a learning curve, but this in-depth training is turning into a tutorial as well. I'm actually enjoying using the tool. So then what you would do is we now have our text, right? And then now we might want to sample again where it's at. Expert plumbing service is here to save the day. Say goodbye to leaky pipes, clogged drains, and overflowing. So right there, maybe we want to go to about the 13-second mark. And then we want to go into, I like videos. I noticed that there wasn't a lot of plumbing, but you would go, we'd go to footage. But you would just go and get a bunch of footage and then you can upload them yourself. I'm going to go back over here. So there's not a whole lot, but we could go and maybe add this one. So it's adding. And then you go back to footage, or you go back to my videos, I believe. So you go back and then now you have that video right there. And then you've got to push the plus button and then it'll add it to your timeline. I'm going to go ahead and just put that right there. Now right here, I can't drag this up here. So every element you put on there is going to add a new layer. It's not like maybe if you were in another video editor where I can move this up to the top there. And so that's just something to note. And then we would just move our text and line it up and then now we would be able to do one last thing, right? So we need to go and I'm going to go and do exactly what we did a minute ago. I'm going to drag this cover. And then what we're going to do is go to layers and I'm going to this text layer. So we are a team needs to go above. So then now we have this right over here, the text, and then we would go and fix that text as well. And we would move that and maybe put that down right there. There's a bunch of stuff. They actually have bold. We can make it bold. We can underline it if we want. We can put a border on this text right here, like a ridge. You can do padding. You can do a blur. Let's see what the blur looks like. So there's a little bit of a blur right there. Shadow color. Can change the shadow color. So some pretty good settings right there. Now I'm going to go and look at the timeline and we'll just look at what we've got right over here real quick. There's also some cool stuff. So we'll go with this and then you can click this animate button. That was another cool thing I need to show you is the animate button. We can go zoom in. We can do all kinds of stuff. So maybe we'll slide up right there and then we will exit, slide down. And then, so we have these animations that I believe have been added. And so it slid up and then it slid down. So we'll look at it one more time and then I'll show you one more feature that I want to show you and then we will wrap this review up. Are you tired of dealing with plumbing issues in Denver, Colorado? Look no further. Our expert plumbing service is here to save the day. Say goodbye to leaky pipes, clogged drains, and overflowing toilets. With years of experience in the industry, our team is dedicated to providing top-notch service with a smile. Don't just take our word for it. So obviously, the more time that you spend creating your video and putting a bunch of different things in here, you're going to be able to do a lot more with this tool. This is just me knowing about it for the last 30 minutes. One last thing that you want to see is that there's an AI generation. Okay. So we can come over here. We can say if it's a product you're trying to sell or a service. In this case, it was a service. It's plumbing in Denver, Colorado. And then business category, we're just going to say plumbing. And then language, like I said, they need to have English at the top. And right here, it looks like they do have the ability to get English right here. I'm not seeing that we have a USA English, or the only one that we're able to get right here is the United Kingdom. So that's another thing that they need to look at. The purpose, so this interactive informative content has a weird kind of thing in it where it talks about interactive and informative. So I think that the prompt is messed up, but the short description and sales speech works. So you probably use the sales speech right there. And then right here, you can actually choose, right? So you can say 75 words. You could say however many words, and you say generate content. So it's generating the content, and then you can see right here, are you tired of dealing with plumbing issues? It's pretty good. And then you can save your content. So you can regenerate it. You can continue to generate audio. You can go to saved content, and you can see right here, I already had one that was saved, and this is the one that I used over here. I just added the phone number and stuff at the end. I thought that was a pretty cool feature as well. So you actually have the AI generation feature. It'll write your script and so forth as well. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with this. What do you guys think below? For a JVZoo product, you can tell that there was definitely a lot of time put into this. This isn't just your everyday fly-by-night software. I think that this has a lot more that they can do to the software to make it even stand out more. I like how you can drag this timeline all the way up halfway to the screen right here as well, so you can really look at the timeline right here. That's pretty cool. But if you do that, then you would need this right over here to shrink as well. And I don't see the ability to do that. So there's some UI things that could be fixed, and there's a couple bugs, but overall, this is a useful tool that I believe you would be able to get to know. It's going to take there's going to be a learning curve. But once you get to know it, you could actually use this to create some pretty nice videos. And the difference between this and using some other ones where it's just mostly template based and so forth is that this has a lot of customizations that you can add to the software. Nonetheless, overall, I thought this was really a good software that I think could be useful for the right person. So the link will be below. I would pick this up if I wanted to create videos for my niche, or create videos like this for plumbers in your town or whatever, or if I want to go and do freelancing and sell them on Fiverr. I think that you could get the job done with the software. They do have some really good upgrades. I do think that you won't be able to really truly unlock everything that they have to offer unless you pick up some of the OTOs. I definitely would get the done for you templates. You might need the agency manager if you plan on assigning this to someone on your team and so forth. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.